Today, I will be ranking every single Mario Kart character to find out the biggest question in Mario Kart history. Who is the best Mario Kart character of all time? We're going to go through all the mainline games and even Tour. And some of these takes are, well, a little bit controversial. So, yeah, please don't kill me. Starting with F tier. Let's get straight into the worst character in all of Mario Kart. Peachette. Look, all I have to say about Peachette is, without Peachette, we wouldn't have Bowsette. And I just think the world would be a much better place if Bowsette wasn't a thing. Next up in F tier, we've got Gold Mario and Rose Gold Peach. They're just boring. I don't know a single person who launches the game and goes, yeah, you know what? I want to play as a worse looking version of Mario and a worse looking version of Peach. And I'm pretty sure all of their animations are basically the same. I just don't see any point in playing these two characters. Then we move to all the Doctor characters. For some reason, these were on the tier list I used, so yeah, F tier, obviously. We got Dr. Mario, Dr. Luigi, Dr. Peach, and, you know, at least these all make some sort of sense. You know, Mario's been a doctor before, and Peach and Luigi have had loads of jobs, you know, from tenniser to golfer to pipe person. But the weird one here is Dr. Bowser. I just can't see Bowser being a doctor. So F tier. Charging Chuck from Mario Kart Tour. Who? I have never seen this guy in my life. F tier. And finally, all the Hammer Bros. All the way from green to blue. They're just really boring. And being able to play as different colours of the Hammer Bros doesn't make it any more exciting. D tier. These are the characters that I probably wouldn't play, but if I did, I'd probably have an alright time playing them. But I wouldn't play them, so that's why it's D tier. Starting with Metal Mario. And I know, I said that Rose Gold Peach and Gold Mario were the spawn of Satan. And they are. So what makes Metal Mario any different? Well, at least Metal Mario has some sort of history. First appearing in Super Smash Bros. On the N64 as like a boss fight. So there's some fan service behind this character, instead of let's just make Mario Gold and Peach Rose Gold, because apparently they're iPhones now. Next up is Blinky. What do you mean, who's Blinky? Yeah, Blinky. Yeah, from Pac-Man. One of the few non-Nintendo characters in the whole series. And even weirder, he's only on the arcade game version. So you can't play as Blinky on any home console. Look, he's just interesting enough not to be an F tier. But you're never going to see me running into an arcade, getting my pound coin out, putting it into the Mario arcade machine and picking Blinky. That would just be ridiculous. On the same vein as Blinky is Memetichi, which is the adult stage of a Tamagotchi. You know, those virtual handheld pets that you would forget to feed and they would, well, die. It's so out there and bizarre, it just had to go in D tier. Tanuki Mario. Why D tier? Furries. Monty Mole. I feel sorry for Monty. Monty Mole is an S tier pick in Mario Party. But that's also not very hard when Mario Party gives you this many characters to pick from. It's really not many. So there's so many better and so many more characters in Mario Kart, he just has to go in D tier. I'm sorry, Monty. Next up is all the baby princesses. They're just colour swap versions of each other, except Rosalina has an emo fringe. Cat Peach! Furries. And finally in D tier, we have 3 of Bowser's kids. Lemmy 1, Lemmy 2, and Lemmy 3. Yep. Literally no idea what half of them are called. C tier. C tier is the characters that I should play more often because they're probably quite fun to play, but I wouldn't know because I never pick them. Ever. Starting with Rob. You know Rob, that robot toy from the 1980s for the NES that nobody outside of the 1980s had ever heard of. So what did they do? They made him the first non-Mario character in a mainline Mario Kart game. Nintendo, I will never understand you. However, he is a cool-looking robot with interesting lore, and all 8-year-old me cared about was, cool, there's a robot, I'm gonna play as him. So, that gets him into C tier for me. Next up for C tier, we have the Koopa Trooper and the Koopa Paratrooper. I literally thought the Koopa Paratrooper was just called a Koopa Trooper with wings. My bad. These two first appeared in Mario Kart Double Dash as a team, and that's quite interesting. And one of them has wings, so that's cool. Moving on, Baby Mario and Baby Green Mario. Now we all know that Baby Luigi is just better. That is just a fact. Mario's just a golden boy. I'm sick of it. Green Mario is the man. But I can hear all four of you screaming right now.
Grandad, you put the baby princesses in D tier, so why are these in C tier?
Well, because at least Baby Mario and Baby Luigi appeared in Yoshi's Island first, so adding them into Mario Kart was a little bit of fan service, which is great. Instead of just a load of colour swapped babies, one of which loves My Chemical Romance. Pauline! Like Rob, she was another character from the 1980s that everyone had forgot about until her revival in Mario Odyssey. She was first seen in the original Donkey Kong as the lady who gets kidnapped by Donkey Kong. I just thought that was Peach. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought that was Peach. I know she doesn't look like Peach, but I just thought that's definitely Peach. But apparently not. Now, she is a great inclusion to the game, but unfortunately, she's from Mario Kart Tour, which is just a terrible game. I would love to see her in a mainline game, so I can only give her C tier. Sorry. Now moving on to our next non-Mario character. In fact, this one is even a non-Nintendo character again. Pac-Man. A really cool inclusion for a character. Unfortunately, he suffers the exact same fate as Pauline. He's only in the arcade game, which is better than Tour, don't get me wrong, but it's not much better. So C tier is where Pac-Man stays. Speaking of Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, also in the arcade game, looks exactly the same, plays exactly the same. She just has a bow and lipstick and high heels. So yeah, moving on. Petey Piranha is such a weird pick for a Mario Kart character. Who looked at this massive piranha plant with arms and legs and went, you know what he would be really good at? Go-karting. On the one hand, I love how insane it is that this character is even in a Mario Kart game, but on the other hand, I would never play as him. I actually think it might be distracting how big of a character he is. And with how I play Mario Kart, which is very badly, I need all the help I can get. So yeah, Petey Piranha, C tier. Dixie Kong is just worse Diddy Kong in a worse game on mobile. However, on her wiki, there has this photo, which says Dixie Kong and Funky Kong are BFFs. And I like that. So, yeah, C tier. I don't make the rules around here. I sadly regret to inform you we are now back to Bowser's Kids. Ludwig 1, 2, 3, and Girl Ludwig. Look, the only reason they're in C tier is because at least these guys look slightly different from each other, and one of them has pink sunglasses. Apparently, his name is Roy, which is pretty cool, I guess. And finally, at the top of C tier is Dry Bones. This one's controversial. The Dry Bones fans are actually going to find me. He's just a Koopa, but dead. So I guess it's kind of more interesting than a normal Koopa. I do love his jump animation though, where his head detaches from his body, but it's just not enough to push it into B tier. B tier. B tier are the characters that I have played, but not that often, and they're just not quite interesting enough to get into A tier. And this is where it gets a bit more controversial. Mario, Green Mario, Peach, and Ginger Peach are all in B tier. Yes, they are the main characters of the game, but they are just boring. There's two reasons why these characters are in B tier. One, the game is named after one of them. And two, the game is named after one of their friends. Moving on from that, we have the Villager Boy and the Villager Girl. They are really interesting inclusions in Mario Kart. However, it doesn't help that the Animal Crossing design makes them look like this. Just very dull. If only one of the animal characters from Animal Crossing was in Mario Kart. You know, like a yellow dog or something whose name begins with an I. Then they'd definitely be higher up on the list, but I just don't think that's a thing. Next, in kind of the same vein, is Inkling Boy and Inkling Girl. Great additions, but not the most visually appealing characters in Mario Kart. However, I do love their animations. Their jump animation where they turn from Squid back into Inkling is perfection. Captain Toad! Just Toad with a head torch. But I love him. Next, Birdo. If you play Birdo, good for you. They are probably one of the weirdest Mario characters in the mainline game. However, they are an absolute icon, as seen from their jump animation here. So B tier is definitely fitting. And finally in B tier is King Bomb from Mario Kart DS. Once again, just another massive character in a tiny kart. I want more of him. Please.
Okay, so this was the moment that I realised while editing that I missed a bunch of characters out of B tier. So let's do a quick round. Wiggler, B tier, too long. I don't even know who this guy is. Why did I put him in B tier? Sure, this is where he's staying. Lakitu, B tier. Unless he's floating on his cloud, then S tier. Isabelle, the best Animal Crossing character in Mario Kart until Tom Nook is added. And finally, at the top of B tier is Yoshi. Almost A tier, his tongue freaks me out a little bit. Okay.
A tier. A tier is characters that I love, but they're just not quite the best of the best. Starting with another controversial one, Honey Queen. I'm being serious. Honey Queen is another really weird character that I just love. It's probably because I love Mario Galaxy far too much. She's probably the biggest character in the series. And every time I play as her, I can't help but giggle a little bit. On my own. To myself, because nobody plays Mario Kart on the 3DS anymore. Continuing on the weird theme is Don Chan. What do you mean you don't know who Don Chan is? Don Chan is from the Rhythm game. I'm going to have to read this because I will say it wrong, and I probably will still say it wrong. Tangiko no Tatsujin. I definitely said that wrong. He is a drum with arms and legs and a face. This is the best thing ever. And if you don't think he deserves to be an A tier, you just need to lighten up a little bit. Magic Cooper. Great name. Didn't know he was called that. Once again, just thought he was called like Wizard Cooper or something. This little used to send fear through me. Every time I saw him in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I would always die to him. But being able to play as him in Mario Kart makes me feel a whole lot better about it. He's just the coolest of the Koopas. And the jump animation he has where he disappears and reappears is, just brilliant. Donkey Kong Jr. Not Diddy Kong, Donkey Kong Jr. The disrespect this character has been shown is insane. Only being in one Mario Kart game that released over 20 years ago. Justice for DK Jr. I want him back with DK and Diddy Kong all together. A lovely little family reunion. Next up, Nabbit. Great name, looks great, and apparently in Mario Kart Tour, he's a boss that you have to catch. I really don't understand Mario Kart Tour. But he's another dumb character that I love a bit too much, so I'm keeping him an A tier. Rosalina is the best of the princesses. Fight me. Straight away after playing Mario Galaxy as a kid, I could take out the disc, put in Mario Kart, and play as Rosalina in Mario Kart Wii as well. And that was brilliant. She is easily one of the best Mario characters in the entire series. However, in Mario Kart, there are a couple people better than her. So, A tier for her. We come to Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, both of which deserve A tier. Two of the best characters in the mainline Mario series. Easily. DK is just so chunky, and his jump animation has him literally flexing on us. And also, monkey. And for Diddy Kong, his animations are also incredible. You can feel the personality just like oozing through. He's the complete opposite of DK. And also, monkey. Waluigi! He doesn't fit in his cart. I love this. I love that they made all the large characters sort of fit in their carts, but Waluigi just sits there with his knees up by his face. And he has so many weird jump animations that are like little gymnastic routines. He's such an odd character, but I love him. A tier. King Boo. I don't get this. Why doesn't he just float? He's not even sitting in his cart. I like to think he's just doing this whole kart racing thing for a bit of fun because, you know, he can literally fly. Next up, we've got the chunky bad boy himself, Bowser. His scale in this game is perfect and he looks massive compared to the other characters. And on that same vibe, I really like Bowser Jr., especially when paired with his kart in Mario Kart 8. Look, any character that has their own kart, I instantly love. Toadette! Just a great character in general. It's just nice to have her here. Look, not all these characters need explanations. And at last, we have made it. Every single tier leading up to this. The best of the best. The creme de la creme. The top 5. S tier. Starting with Peachette! I lied! I told you she was bottom. She's actually top. She's actually the best character in the game. Bowsette's amazing. Peachette's... No, in all seriousness, we start with Wario. The best character in the Mario Kart lineup. And I will once again fight you for that. I don't know why, but I find it incredibly satisfying to race around as Wario in his little cart. And not only does he have one cart themed after him, no. He has a cart and a bike themed after him. And in true Wario fashion, that's incredibly greedy, and I love it. The 4th best character in Mario Kart goes to Dry Bowser. Take everything cool about Bowser and make it even cooler. He breathes different colour fire in his animations. He has his own goddamn bike. And he's made of bones, which is cool. Incredible character. Number 3 is going to rustle some feathers here, but I wholeheartedly believe this guy is the best. And that guy is Shy Guy. See what I did there? And before you say,
Ooh, Shy Guy's boring.
no, he's not. If you want a light character, he's incredible. You can play as loads of different colour variants of Shy Guy. That's the end of my list. Just look at him. He's cool. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 characters now. And number 2 is Link. This was such a good inclusion in Mario Kart 8. Being able to play as normal green Link and Breath of the Wild Link was an incredibly cool touch. We kind of got 2 characters in one with it. And Link's bike is just a work of art. It looks amazing. In his animations, he does the hey-ya sound. You know, the hey-ya. That sound. I'll just play it. Yeah, that one, that sound. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for. The greatest Mario Kart character of all time is, of course, Funky Kong. Look, we all saw this coming. It's Funky Kong. Not only does he have the best stats in Mario Kart Wii, but also, just look at him. In his jump animation, he uses a surfboard, he's got cool wraparound glasses. He takes everything cool about Donkey Kong and makes it funky. Kong.
And here it is, the completed tier list. And if you have any problems with this, don't tell me. I don't want to hear them.
And if you want to know more about the next Mario Kart game, Mario Kart 9, click here. I've heard it's a pretty funky video. Oh god, okay, bye.